Vibes tribe. Welcome to my new how-to video, how to write a song, or properly how to write a great song. Right. Big shout out to my friend Charlie Stevens up there who painted that beautiful picture. Just makes it really nice on my wall. Anyway, how to write a great song. I've written lots of songs. I'd only number about a handful as my greatest songs. And I'm really proud of those songs. So it's a matter of, I suppose, luck and inspiration as far as writing good songs. But there are some techniques. Now, you can either write the words first or the music. Doesn't really matter, but you know, like Elton John and Bernie Taupin. Bernie wrote the words first, Elton wrote the music. Like Neil Sedaka and Howie Greenfield, same arrangement there. Neil wrote the music. They always wrote the music after the words. And sometimes you can write the music first and then put words to it. Depends on how you go. Here's some key points in making music work for you when you're writing songs. First of all, the words are a bit like poetry, and they have to sort of go in a meter, maybe rhyme. They don't have to rhyme, but meter is more important. An example could be here's a poem that I just discovered. They put me in the oven to bake. Me, a deprived, miserable cake. Feeling the heat, I started to bubble. Watching the others, I knew I was in trouble. And that's got a pretty good meter and rhyme as well, so we'll come to that a bit later, maybe. Now, songs like poetry, you need to be able to count the syllables. That's the meter, syllables. So the syllables, watching, 2 syllables, got it? That's how the meter works. There's nothing worse than trying to fit in too many words in the space of, say, 4 beats. If you're like, I love you more than you know. I love you more than you know. Really fits, it's hard to fit in, but I love you more is easy. All right, now, words can be broken into verses. Usually have the same number of lines in each verse, just like poetry stanzas, or same number of lines, the same tune and meter. And often you might have a theme or a hook. It's very good to have a hook to catch people. It's the thing that makes a song great, the hook. Usually it's in the chorus, and sometimes I might get an idea about that hook before I write a song. Oh, that's a good idea for a song, and that'll be the hook which goes in the chorus. You write the verses around the hook, that sort of. So then you might even find that there's something you want to just go a little bit off tangent, off the normal way, and maybe even a different key. Well, that'll be the bridge. You can write it in a different key as long as you can come back again into the main song in the right key. There's a few tricks to that. Song structures are pretty important, although some people don't follow them, but they're very important in my writing. You usually have something like an intro. Don't have to have an intro, but most songs have an intro. Just a few chords to start the song off. You know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I was a good little boy. I just made that up. They'll have a verse, maybe a chorus next, another verse, another chorus, then an outro, finishing off. Usually repeat the chorus 3 times or something. You could have an intro, you could have 2 verses, you could have a chorus, 2 verses, chorus, and an outro. Another very popular format for song is AABA, and that means that part A is a set of notes, could be 16 bars. Part B, another set of notes, and they go back to part A. And that's usually a lot of jazz standards use that AABA format. I'm going to put a lot of this on the screen for you to look at, down there, wherever it is. Anyway, just to open up the info so you can see it. And another one that's very popular in a lot of my songs is the 12-bar blues standard. A lot easier because you're just sort of going, you know, that 12-bar blues, 3 chords, makes great songs. We often refer to those chords in 12-bar blues as 1, 4, 5. So if it was E, A and B, that sort of thing. If it was C, it'd be C, F and G. Come to that a bit later. I use a lot of, you can use chord theory, but I don't want to bother with chord theory. There are some simple rules, and I'll put them on the screen here, that say, if you're in the key of C, for example, here's the chords you can play in your song when you make up a song. There are chords that fit that key, like C, D, E minor, F7, F major 7, G7, A minor, and one you probably never use much is B diminished. And they go in that order. When you change key, they change to similar sort of structure. Now, common chord structures that I would use usually have used those numbers. You'll find that there's a very common chord structure in about half the songs in the world called a 1, 6, 4, 5, which would be something like, you know. So that gives you an idea of how that works. When you want to change key, you use the fifth chord of the scale, the 5 chord, and it's always a 7, not a major 7, just a normal 7. So if you're in the key of G, for example, you go to G7. That gets you back into the key. So a little bit about 12-bar blues, 1, 4, 5. You have 4 bars of the 1. So if we were doing it in E, for example, E, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 bars, and then you change to A. 2 bars back to E. Then you go to the B7 at the 5 chord, and you might go back to the A, or you might stay on the B7, and then back to the E for 2. That's an idea of how you do that. Now, writing songs, basically you just put the chords together and hope they sound good, but if you follow some of those rules about which chords to use in which song that I'll be putting along the bottom of the screen, I think that'll really improve your songs. Have a listen to some of my songs, some of the ones I think are great, and it might give you some ideas. I get inspired by people like Neil Sedaka, Elton John, James Taylor, Simon and Garfunkel, all of those guys from my era, and Cat Stevens, don't forget. So I get inspired by people. Got to try very carefully not to steal their ideas, of course, but they give you things to work on so that you can then write your own things. So have a listen to my things, and I hope you will enjoy this.